So let's start with a really simple sounding question, but one that gets to the very heart of biology. What's the real difference between, say, a rock and a rabbit? It seems obvious, right? But the answer takes us on this incredible journey into the very processes that define what it means to be alive.
I mean, it seems easy. You see a dog running around, a friend laughing, you just know they're alive. But what about when that dog is totally crashed out, fast asleep? Or what about that houseplant sitting in the corner? The usual signs, well, they aren't always so obvious, are they?
You know, our first gut instinct is to look for movement. We think things that are alive move. But that's a bit of a trap. A plant can be growing so slowly you'd never notice, and an animal can be perfectly still when it's resting. So if big, obvious movement isn't the key, then what is?
Well, the real secret to life, it's completely invisible. It's happening right now, inside every single one of your cells, this constant organized dance of molecules. This is actually what makes something like a virus so tricky and so fascinating. By themselves, they're basically inert. But the second they get inside a living cell, they hijack all that molecular machinery, and they completely blur that line between what's alive and what isn't.
And that right there brings us to the central challenge of what it means to be alive. See, it's not some peaceful, calm state of being. Oh no. It is a constant, active war against chaos and decay.
I mean, just look at the incredible organization here. Living things are absolute masterpieces of structure. You've got these layers of complexity, starting from the smallest components inside our cells, which build up to make the cells, which build up to make tissues, and so on.
But here's the cosmic conflict. The universe, by its very nature, tends towards chaos and disorder. So the environment is constantly trying to break down these beautiful, ordered structures. It's a relentless attack on everything that allows life to exist.
And this really gets to the core of it. Life is just an endless process of maintenance. As the source material puts it, if order breaks down, the organism will no longer be alive. Living creatures must keep repairing. It's that simple. The moment that repair process stops, life stops.
So this constant repair job, this fight against chaos, it has a name. We call them life processes. These are the absolutely essential, non-stop functions that keep an organism from, well, literally falling apart. So let's take a look at what these processes actually are and how they all work together.
Okay, so if you're going to do a constant repair job, you need two basic things, right? You need building materials, and you need the energy to do the work. And that's where our first two life processes come right in: nutrition and respiration.
Now, living things have basically developed two main strategies for getting fuel. You've got your autotrophs, like plants. Think of them as the ultimate do-it-yourself experts. They make their own food from simple stuff like sunlight, water, and air. And then you have the heterotrophs, like us. We're the consumers. We have to get our energy by eating other living things.
This whole process of bringing in that fuel and those building materials from the outside world, that's called nutrition. And it makes perfect sense, right? You can't repair a house without supplies, and a body can't repair itself without a steady stream of nutrients.
Okay, but how does a sandwich become the energy you need to think? Well, that magic happens through respiration. It all starts with a sugar molecule, like glucose, which gets split in two. Then, inside the cell's little powerhouses, the mitochondria, those smaller pieces are broken down even further with the help of oxygen, and that releases a ton of energy.
But here's the cool part. That energy isn't just released as a burst of heat. No, it's captured in this special little molecule called ATP. The best way to think about ATP is as the energy currency of your cells. It's like the dollar of the cellular economy. Or maybe even better, think of it as a tiny rechargeable battery that powers every single thing your body does.
Okay, so we've made our energy. Awesome. But now we're facing a massive logistics problem. If you're made of trillions of cells, how do you get that energy to every single one of them?
I mean, it's a huge challenge, right? You eat with your mouth, you breathe with your lungs, but the cells way down in your big toe need fuel and oxygen too. So how does it get there?
For a tiny, single-celled organism, it's pretty easy. Nutrients can just kind of seep in from the outside through a process called diffusion. But for a big, complex creature like you or me, that would be like trying to water a whole garden with just a single eyedropper. It's just not going to cut it. You need a dedicated, specialized system.
And our bodies are full of these incredible specialized systems. Just take a look at the digestive tract here. It's not just some simple tube. It's a highly sophisticated processing plant with all these different sections designed for very specific stages of digestion.
And then, to deliver all those nutrients and that oxygen, you need a highway system.
And that's exactly what your circulatory system is. It's this huge network of arteries, veins, and tiny capillaries, with blood acting as the fleet of delivery trucks, and the lymph system handling some specialized cleanup. It all works to make sure every cell gets its shipment on time.
But, any busy factory produces waste, and the body's cells are no different at all. And that brings us to our final and totally crucial life process, taking out the trash. All of those reactions that are producing energy also create byproducts, leftovers. And if that waste isn't removed, it can actually become toxic, basically poisoning the cells from the inside out.
This vital process of waste removal is called excretion. You can think of it as the body's sanitation department, and honestly, without it, the entire system would just grind to a toxic halt.
And this is where our amazing highway system comes in again. The same network that delivers the fuel and supplies is also responsible for hauling away the garbage. Blood carries waste from all the cells to the disposal sites, like your kidneys.
And here's the truly beautiful part. None of these processes work in a vacuum. They're all deeply interconnected. Nutrition brings in the fuel. Respiration unlocks its energy. Transportation delivers the goods and hauls away the trash, and excretion gets that trash out for good. It is a single, elegant, interconnected system, all working toward that one goal, staying alive.
So the next time you look in the mirror, remember this. You're not looking at a static object. You're looking at this dynamic, self-repairing system that is constantly rebuilding itself, fighting off chaos every second of every day. And that makes you wonder, if your body is this incredible system in constant self-repair, how does that change the way you think about living inside it?